We are back for the week before 4th of July, and I believe it's the week before 4th of July. But,
Otherwise known as the 27th of June.
yes, we are here for another... Yep.
Or better yet, known as the... What is this? 4 days before Canada Day.
There you go. So, I didn't realize June 27th had that many names to it.
It's an auspicious day.
It is. It is.
National Ice Cream Cake Day.
See, now I gotta
Not
know.
kidding.
When is that?
Today.
Today.
So bitch. Well. Happy National Ice Cream Cake Day, everybody.
Enjoy your abomination of sweet.
Ooh.
Bite your whore tongue. Ice cream cake is the best.
I am a pie person, sorry.
I don't think I've ever had an ice cream cake.
I envy you. Moving on.
Your life is diminished.
We sell them in Korth. Speaking of Korth, last time on this.
So, yes, last time the players had an interesting time while Levin was away off doing Levin things. This does include Gearfried and Fennec going off and antagonizing a artificer school.
You can call it what it was, a sham, thank you.
Okay, that is some people's opinions. I think that I think you and your master are a little bit jealous that you don't have the esteem that he does, but we'll sidetrack that for a second.
Educational institution.
You had Ceres who wandered off on her own, found some information out about the city of Korth, and they began their hunt for Brother Bralvek. They do know that the mad individual tends to circulate all of the bars and tends to request drinks as he's preaching about the end of Karnath. The major highlight of the last session was the tensions that were built inter-party-wise. So besides dropping Ceres's name early on in the session, Fennec also, though nobody has any direct evidence, as was vehemently claimed, Fennec decided to levitate Zarya around the bar. After being dispelled, or after Zarya jumping off of the chair, after starting to feel a little bit queasy, the session kind of ended where at one point, Ceres, you were grasping Fennec by the head and slightly lifting him onto his tippy toes as he was denying the allegations and feigning unfairness that he keeps getting accused of things without evidence. Zarya, we actually ended with the session with a little bit of a heart-to-heart where you really expressed to Fennec that you really are being a pain because you care. This despite not knowing that just half hour before getting to you, they were calling you SquarePants and other names like that.
I feel like she got a vibe in the Force.
It's one of those moments
idiot.
in a show you would just be starting to sneeze and be like, alright, somebody's talking about me.
Yeah.
So, we are going to start up the session where you guys are still in the heat of this kind of tense situation. Levin, would you like to rejoin the party or would you like to hold off a little bit longer?
I'll maintain. I had a task at hand.
Okay. So, Fennec is going to go off to the bar. He's going to go grab himself a drink. As you are all within the tavern, you are going to get this general feel that there are eyes on you. So everybody give me a perception check who's in the tavern.
Fuck. Perception.
Please and thank you.
Sarah's just paranoid.
Also, just a heads up. Oh my, it was almost in that 28.
You're free to
Just a
accidentally
heads
bump
up,
into-
there's a storm in my area now, apparently, so if my internet goes out, I'll let y'all know.
I appreciate it.
Gearfried bumped into a bar back, and a bottle fell down, so he's helping clean it up. So he didn't see anything.
Saris, you notice one cloaked individual who is in 2 tables over, who flicks his eyes from you to Meili. They hover on Meili for a few moments before he kind of stands up, leaves money on the bar, and walks out.
Cyrus drops Fennec. Mentions it to the rest of the party. Basically, we're moving taverns.
I feel like Zarya didn't notice because she's just silently having an aneurysm from the stress. Okay, great. Good. Yeah. Nosebleed. Good.
Hold on, wait.
Good, yeah.
Sorry. Hold on. Gearfried waves off the bar back that he just helped pick up the glass. Sorry,
Yeah.
why are we leaving? What's happening?
Someone noticed Meili, and then they just sort of got up and left. Feel like we should not be here when was you. Inevitably.
Fair enough. Is a change of appearance necessary?
She's gonna go up to the bartender, or the tavern keeper. I'm like, hello, my good sir. The service is so wonderful. We'd like to book for the rest of the week.
Sure,
And I
that
left Spain
sounds
in minutes.
great.
How much is rooms again? 2 gold? 1 gold piece?
Well, for the rest of the week, I had given you the deal of 2 rooms, get 1 free, 5 silver per night, so that would cost you about 4 gold pieces.
Excellent. She drops 4 gold pieces on the counter. Wonderful service. Thank you so much. And
What is your current appearance? Like
Oh,
mannerism
she looks
wide,
like-
not you look distraught.
no, she looks pleased. She's putting on the face of someone who is like, she was trying to present the face of someone who's like, you know what, this place is awesome. I think I want to stay here longer, but in a
Give
kind
me-
of professional sense.
Give me a performance or deception check.
I think I'm pretty good on performance because of who I am
Eh,
or what.
That's
I am.
why I gave you the choice.
I'll take it. Cool.
Your
Yep.
performance is pretty good. He is kind of too busy to really look into deeply.
Cool. I give him his 4 gold. And it's like, looking forward to the continental breakfast. And then she will sort of like, all right, let's retire. We should talk about what we're doing tomorrow morning. Shuffle everyone upstairs into her room where we will all shuffle out the window. And I will cast Pass Without Trace on all of us. And we will sort of just
Well-
casually maneuver through the city
While you were
away from here.
ushering everybody away, this is an opportunity for individuals to ask questions. So you see Sarah's kind of just like shooing you upstairs towards her room. Are you all just complying with her? Are you questioning her? What are you all doing?
Zarya is going along 100% because, yeah, we are kind of, everyone has kind of clocked us as noticeable. We need to keep low profile. We've already screwed that up on this tavern. We need to bounce.
Gearfried trusts Saris, so on top of
Oh.
that, and because she mentioned specifically that Mei Li had been seen, I am going to have Gearfried pop invisibility at 3rd level, and he's going to grab Mei Li on his shoulder and be like, "One moment, love," and he's going to cast invisibility at third level on himself and her, so we are now invisible. And that's like once we get into the room, before we go out the window.
Even better. So yeah, it's just
Noted.
Saris in that case nods approvingly at seeing Gearfried and Mei Li disappear. And she casts Pass Trace on the whole group, or basically they get it because they're within proximity to her. And we will, like I said, exit out the window. And Pass Trace is mostly so that, like, I know it's not going to necessarily work to, like, hide us from the people on the street, but if anyone tries to track us across the city, they can't just, like, track us. So, and Saris will cast Sky Self on herself on the way out to make herself look like, actually, no. She'll cast Sky Self on herself to make herself look like Femlevin. So yeah. And then she will also... No, she can't. She's casting Pass Without Trace. Never mind. Can't do the other thing. That'll have to do.
Alright, speaking of Levin, as you guys are hopping out the window, Levin, let's jump over to you. I believe you were looking for work at the guard station?
The Lionford Garrison, yeah.
Yep. As you approach the garrison, or as you approach the unit, you see several guards who are standing on point. They are dressed in the official garb of Korth, heavy armor, heavy armor. One has a pike, the other is bearing a sword and a bow at their back. And you notice that a large amount of the soldiers that are stationed there are Carnathian undead.
Does anybody within the group that I'm seeing look like they're like taking notes, processing paperwork, or like doing a head count or anything like that, like administrating?
Give me a perception check. You would notice that off in the distance, just behind where the Carnathi guards are, the Carnathi undead are stationed, you would see that there is a smaller framed male individual, glasses, freckles, looks like he can't do more than 5 push-ups, and he is walking around with a clipboard, taking detailed notes, or what appears to be taking detailed notes.
Levin will walk up to him, but not like next to him, like a few steps away, and he's going to stand at attention and wait for him to look up.
After a few moments, you would notice that he looks up and kind of jumps. Huh? Oh, you scared me. I wasn't expecting anybody. Who are you?
Philean, reporting for swing shift?
Oh, yes. I believe that I would be able to put you on the roll. Are you looking for immediate work, or are you scheduling for something for the future?
Immediate work, sir.
Okay, I think I can get you something on the shift today. How does 10 gold pieces an hour work?
If that's the going rate, sir.
Excellent. And he's going to start writing down your name, starting to process paperwork. And where are you from?
Originally Valinar, transferred to Sharn, coming from Throneport.
Oh, that's quite interesting. There's some interesting movements of armies from Throneford.
Sir, what I have are rumors, and I would rather not speculate.
That's fair. Alright, well, and he's going to point to a guard point. If you can, this is where you'd be stationed. If there's any other need for shifting your locations, just report to the patrolman up top.
And he's going to look towards where he points. So, Westgate. Okay.
And is there anything else you'd like to do before you move towards the post that was requested?
Sir, who will I be reporting to once the shift is over?
That would be Lieutenant Harvin.
Levin nods. Sir. By your leave?
As you were, continue. And he's going to continue on with his work.
Okay. Levin is going to make his way pretty much along what the expected patrol path would be, and he's going to start listening in on whatever chatter he can pick up from whoever's doing garrison work. Vis-a-vis, he's going to start his shift, but he's going to be gathering information during.
Yep. Go ahead. Would you like to use your current perception roll, or would you like to re-roll?
Keep it at that level. Use the current. Checking something real. Is it?
Was it 23?
Yeah.
Alright, so with that, you'd be able to start hearing information. The first thing that you notice is none of the information points to soldiers being prepared for, or rather readied for war. It's more of the peacetime banter of, like, who's dating who, which of the Carnathi undead smell the worst. It's more banterful. You do hear several mentions of Brother Relvic come up, as well as this weird woman who has been spreading rumors that King Caius is a puppet. But
Levin will
other than
lean
that,
in a little on the conversation once that's been brought up.
superficially, you hear that there was supposed to be some sort of demonstration, but you were talking about how more than likely it would be shut down, so it wasn't even worth attending. But not much more is talked about it. The name that you get, though, is that the woman who was holding it was Ilvara. Ilvara.
Ilvara. Alright. He'll continue with his patrol, but towards the end of the swing shift, he'll make a couple of inquiries specific towards that. Like, more or less asking where that protest was being held. because he wants to follow up.
Alrighty. About how many hours would you be doing for the swing shift?
Swing shift, standard 8.
Okay.
So
after
he's not
about-
getting back to the group until very late.
Yeah. So, as you start your shift, we're going to jump back to the individuals who are currently jumping out a window, and we'll get back to you on your guard post.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, you guys are jumping out a window. You have passed without a trace, and 2 of you are invisible. Poor
Yep.
Fennec is probably getting dragged by the ear as he's jumping down.
Maybe.
I feel like Gearfried
and-
is default babysitter for Fennec anytime he's gone. So Gearfried will like have Fennec with one arm. So Fennec might look like he's like slightly being rushed a little bit because an invisible man is pulling him, and I'm also like holding on to Maylee's like shirt or tunic or whatever, just to make sure we're not getting lost.
Yeah, and I think Ceres would lead us to. Is Royal Station like the rich district?
Sorry, which district?
Royal Station? It says inn district, but it says what Ceres is aiming for is actually like a place with inns that is like high end.
Alright, so for the more high end, you're looking more at like Eastgate, High Crown,
Okay.
North Temple. So Royal Station would be like the upper middle class.
No, she wants higher. She will lead them to High Crown. Affluent neighborhood seems like the perfect label for what I'm looking for. And she will head on in, and as she's like going through the door, she'll cast Disguise Self, dropping Pass Without Trace. And she will make herself look like a high-end noble. Like nice frock coat, waistcoat, cravat, hair done up in like a very stylish updo, trousers, like buckle boots or buckle shoes, and she will walk in and like, hello there. I recently come from an establishment that was much below the standards that I was led to believe were provided, and I am hoping that you can provide me the high-end services I am looking for in an establishment made to cater to those with the money to be catered to.
As you enter the Crimson Flagon, the first thing that you notice is that the tables are spread out, they are large, they are clean. The windows are spotless, you can easily see through them. They are curtained with a vibrant crimson red. The decor kind of matches that of a red dragon, to a sense. As you approach the tavern keeper, you would notice that it's a female half-elf, and she's dressed in a very much rote or Breland style of clothing, similar to what you would be wearing. As you approach her and make your requisitions, you notice that she seems to have the attitude of a high elf. Oh, well, see, that's why you always choose the best establishments first instead of, if you can't judge by it.
I have
Yes,
been
but-
misled as to what the best was.
Oh, of course. It just means that you don't have a very discerning eye. But it's okay. You made the right choice the second time. How may I help you?
I need room for myself and my assistants.
Is Maylee still invisible at this point?
Yes.
And
I hope so.
Gifford, are you still invisible at this point?
Yeah, it lasts an hour. The only person who would be visible is Fennec.
Well,
Okay.
Zarya and Ceres.
Oh
But,
yeah, and sorry.
yeah, but she's like, yes, 3 rooms, please.
3 rooms. Let me see. And you are sure that you can, afford them, right? And she's gonna not look at you, but she's gonna look at everybody you're traveling with.
Yeah, and she goes, part of the misunderstanding that had me fleeing from such wretched accommodations. I assure you.
We are
You're free
high
to
of
You're free to lean into Saris and whisper, "Carpe diem, carpe diem."
I also need. I have a carriage that I have another assistant bringing on the way. I'm sure you have berth for it. It is a sky carriage.
Yes, we would have room to park it.
Excellent. Well, she goes, I'm not really concerned with the amount, but I am certainly, if you need me to put down a down payment, certainly name your price.
So here, our rooms go for 3 gold pieces per night.
Excellent. I would love to book a room. And she looks around like, yes, no, this will do nicely. Much better. And she'll look at the partners like, I'll take all 3 rooms and the berth for a week.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I have 2 assistants traveling with the carriage that will also be attending, so the rooms for my assistants will need to have accommodations for 2 people each.
Yes, there are large enough rooms, thank you.
Excellent. I'm sorry, the trauma of my previous accommodations has forced me to be extremely explicit. I did not know that such poor service existed elsewhere.
Alright, so you want it for 7 or 8 days?
8 days.
So 8 days. That'd be 72 gold pieces.
Drops 100. Perfect. I'm sure the extra, and perhaps we can see to it that any additional needs we need met in the interim can be provided for as well. Like I said, she drops 100 gold pieces.
Now, be sure that, and her eyes are going to flicker towards Fennec on this one. Be sure that your help behaves.
Oh, most certainly. They are completely housebroken, I assure you.
But
We
with
will
that,
travel with another one.
is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. She would collect the keys, lead us up to our rooms, and get squared away.
Gearfried would also, if there's time, the moment that Saris confirmed that there was space for the Carpe Diem, Gearfried would have probably moved the hand he was holding Melee with to let Melee kind of grab Saris's shirt or something, and then Gearfried would have jolted out so he could go get Carpe Diem before invisibility drops.
Yeah. And yes,
Imagine
I said,
how it looks to the passerby. The car driving itself.
I don't know that he's gonna be. It's gonna be
Yeah,
driving
no.
itself on the way back. He's just so
No,
that we're not seen leaving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then she goes. She's like, "All right, we're gonna sit tight here for a little bit. I am banking." Just gotta emphasize the word on the fact that the cost of staying here and the fact that we've paid in advance for several days buys us a degree of security that we would otherwise not find at other inns. You can move about, but you need to be circumspect about it. And she will look at Fennec and like, please don't cause any more attention.
Does I just go with him?
right now, if you stay here, I am gonna go wait at the previous inn to see if Eleven returns to catch up with us, and let him know we are at we have changed places.
I can
Alright.
potentially make things easier for you. And Gearfried's going to. Oh wait, no, I'm not here. I'm still getting the
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah, you're getting the carpe
Alright.
diem. And she's gonna, she's like, when you see Gearfried again, like I said, you're free to move about, but be subtle about it, be circumspect. If you can, try to be in disguise or mix up your look or change up your appearance in some manner so that you're not. I'm gonna have, on my way out, I'm gonna requisition a tailor to come by our rooms and outfit us. Well, outfit you, my servants, with appropriate attire. She like air quotes servants with appropriate attire befitting your station, so that we all blend in here and don't cause a scene. I'm going to spend a lot of money on it. And she just kind of grits her teeth. So you should be expecting a visit from a tailor. If they're not a tailor, kill them.
Got it.
And yeah, Ceres will head back. She will cast invisibility on herself to leave the room, exit this place, go back to the previous inn. On the way back, she is going to before she enters that, she drops invisibility, cast disguise self on herself to turn her into Femme Levin, waiting for Levin to show up. If and when he shows up. Then she will nurse a very weak Grog while she does so.
Okay. I'm assuming you're leaving Melee there at the.
Yeah, I left. Melee is under the protection of Zarya and maybe Fennec. And when
Boys.
Gearfried gets back, Gearfried. Unless they, like I said, unless they want to like go out and they have like something, have an idea about something they can do. Explicitly direct them to stay. Only to just, be very subtle and don't cause a scene.
Quick question. Gearfried has one of the sending stones. Does Ceres or Levin have the other?
Ceres has it. Levin kept
Okay.
giving it back.
Right. Then Ceres, at some point, you would hear from Gearfried, after he gets the Carpe Diem, he would shoot you a message that says, I got the cruiser. I'm gonna take it out of town for a couple of minutes, drive around the perimeter, come back in just to potentially shake off any eyes.
Sounds good. On the way, have a tailor coming by to provide clothes for all of you as enroll as servants. Be discreet if you happen to leave the inn. Is her only reply.
Cool. And DM Gearfried would, once getting back to the old tavern, he would, drop the invisibility when it's not obvious that, away, no one's looking, drops invisibility, hops in the cruiser. I would either drive it outside of town, or if there's like a heavy guard patrol thing, then Gearfried would probably just like weave through the streets just to kind of, potentially shake off anyone who might have been following what he was doing, and eventually pull up to the new tavern and kind of look for any idea of where the group might be roomed, because I don't know where they're roomed, obviously.
As you drive to the upper echelon of Korth, you notice that people seem to look at your vehicle with distaste. You hear
Place, not the time, not the place, not the time, not the place. Don't engage.
you
don't
hear
engage.
some people kind of commenting, I didn't realize it was time for the garbage trucks to come out.
Artifice is a underappreciated craft. They don't know what they're talking about. Ignore them.
but you are able to get to the new tavern. But yeah, you do notice that your vehicle is treated like a clunker in that of a upper crust neighborhood.
And then as Gearfried is marching around looking for the room of his compatriots, he's kind of muttering to himself, like, of course it's not beautiful. It was made from scraps, but he did a fucking good job on it. And he would just kind of be going up and down the halls looking for any like cracked doors and peering eyes of any of his compatriots.
Speaking of, while you guys are doing that, he's doing that. What are you, Zarya, doing with Melee? Are you in the bar? Are you in the room?
Did Sarah say, like, stay in the room?
You just said don't try not to draw attention to yourselves. Like, if you can stay in the room, well, so basically you don't have to stay in the room, but if you leave, you have to emphasize, like, discretion and subtlety.
I think at this point, Zarya wants to stay in the room just to make sure, just to keep low profile maintained, and also the lady that we talked to gave the vibe of I'm racist with that comment to looking at Fennec. So not gonna fuck with that, because if that person says anything else rude to her companions, she might punch a bitch over it, and we don't need to be getting into that. So just going to remove herself from that situation, stay in the room, stay put, keep an eye on everyone, keep Millie safe, maintain the cover, and try not to have an aneurysm.
After about an hour,
Meditate.
Melee's gonna get stir crazy after about an hour. She's gonna begin to try to go get a drink.
I'll go with her.
That's when you would find Gearfried kind of looking around, attempting to find where the rooms are.
I'll wave him over.
Sorry, there you are.
Can we just make
Yeah.
a rule that, like, anytime we use the names, it's the nicknames? We don't mean to say the actual names, because I'm gonna have an aneurysm and you don't play.
Nah. Where's the fun in that?
God. Anya. Hey.
Oh right. Oh yeah, we're still doing that. Yeah. Oi,
Yeah.
There you are. Any word from the employer? She come back yet?
She is,
She was looking
she
for
snuck
Faye.
out the window, right?
No, she turned invisible and left the room.
Okay.
I contacted
Yeah,
her and
she's
she
up-
said she was looking for Phelan.
No, she's upstairs. Wink.
Right. I will. Wait, why are you down here with her?
Wanted a drink. She did.
Gearfried's gonna look at Melee and say, "Do you really think now is the best time, love?"
For a drink? I'm thirsty.
Right, but the circumstances being what they are, you don't think that it might be a little bit more wise to have something brought up to the room?
That's an option.
Hold on a second.
Coffee.
I'm just checking to see
I thought we
if
got the
she knows
Alex.
disguise self.
I thought we
Where
definitely
is
come down
Melee?
here, Arthur, and then
If she's a trickery cleric like Saris, she does.
Yeah,
one of
she
their
should. She
domain
should know it. I'm just double checking it. Yeah, it's okay. She has it. So you're going to just see that she is just going to cast disguise self on herself to create a human-looking woman. short ears. The nose is going to be a little bit more bulbous. There's going to be, her eyes are just going to be like a muddled brown. There, is that better?
I thought she was
Jeffrey-
already disguised. Isn't
I mean, she has short hair, but she probably also doesn't. I mean, it's smart to not. Well, she hasn't been seen yet, actually. So yeah, she can change her disguise again.
okay?
Gearfried's gonna have a look on his face that's like it's this frustrated expression of yes, that's better, but also that's not really the point. So he's like kind of frustrated because there's really not a good argument against disguise. So he's gonna be like, that's better, but at the same time, the risk might not be worth it. At least
So-
not until Sarah's back. You don't think you could wait just a few more minutes?
A scene gets caused that has nothing to do with me, and now I'm being treated like I'm a stubborn child being grounded.
I don't mean to treat you like that, Melee. It's just you
I think
are
we're
in.
fine getting a drink. We're okay. All right. I'm with you. I'm being nervous, but we're being careful.
I mean, we did just have to switch bars because of a.
Yeah,
incident.
but
She's just
Sarah,
gonna roll her eyes and walk back
that's
to the
not
room and close the door.
exactly. That was not her fault. I thought that was you and
I
Fennec
didn't
me.
I didn't do anything. I bumped into a bar back and I had to help him clean up his whiskey.
You went along with the thing. You went along with the thing.
Oh, she went back into her room. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll just go. I'll go grab. Leave me. I should be fine with Fennec for like a minute. I'll grab a drink for Melee.
I'll go make sure nothing gets exploded while you're gone. And Gearfried's going to
Yes.
go over and follow Melee into her room.
Yeah, I'll go order a drink. Tell me the bitch of an owner does not give me any trouble.
We're gonna jump back to your drink in a minute. After all of this
Okay.
has gone about, and Levin, you're going to be about 4-5 hours into your shift. How's it looking? Give me a perception check.
No problem. As part of the shift, I would have had the Eyes of the Eagle up. So, 1 second.
All right. You notice that there isn't much movement as one might have seen. So whereas on your journey to Karnath, you saw much more movement of undead, which is perplexing that their main city, again, isn't really releasing troops. They aren't preparing for battle. Your watch is relatively uneventful. You do hear casual bits of conversations, little things about how the dock has been safer lately since a new individual came in. You weren't able to find out the name of the person, but you know that somebody new has been coming in and taming the dock. Is there any other information you might be looking for? Passively.
Passively, no. He's just getting a general feel for the vibe of the city right now. But towards the end of his shift, he'll probably ask more direct questions about what was it? The protest
Alrighty.
and the location for it. He would want to follow up on that the following morning.
Alright. And for Saris, how long are you going to wait at the new tavern before you go to the night? Because Levin is going to have about 2 more hours left on his watch.
She will wait
Okay.
until like the dead of night.
All right. While in the tavern, you notice that it seems to have died out a little bit. There aren't as many people as when you were originally there. And I'm assuming you changed disguises as you went.
I mean, her.
She's
Yeah,
currently
she made it-
Femme Levin.
There we
Yeah,
go. That's
she
what
looks
that's what I thought.
M11. Yeah.
Um,
7.
oh god, I'm giving you an inspiration point for that one. Okay, so as you're sitting, you notice that the vibe has shifted within the tavern. There is a bard in there trying to regain its momentum from earlier, but it doesn't seem to be as effective. After a couple of hours, you are able to see that more people seem to be coming in. Is there anything specifically you'd like to do while you're waiting?
She is curious if like anyone like if it looks like there's anyone like setting up an ambush for the party that is no longer there. Like anyone seems to be questioning the tavern keeper about anything in particular. She's basically looking for signs like of anyone investigating the tavern looking for the party. But she has to do it passively, like she can't necessarily like
What's your passive investigation check? Or your passive perception?
Passive perception would be 17.
With this 17, nothing immediately stands out that they're looking for individuals. Or they're looking for anybody. Next 2 hours are going to pass by relatively uneventfully. We're going to jump back to Levin. Levin, the last 2 hours of your shift, once more, are uneventful, and now you do have the opportunity to ask the questions you'd like to ask.
Right. Sir, and I'm coming up to who I'm supposed to report to at the end of my shift. Lieutenant, sorry, let me...
Lieutenant
Could you
Harvin.
spell the name out from any of our notes?
Harven. He's a human cleric.
Alright. Lieutenant Harvin?
Yes, how can I help you?
Flane reporting for end of shift.
Oh, yes. How'd it go? Anything to tell? Anything to note?
Mostly just crosstalk. Nothing of note.
Well, appreciate vigilance.
Sir, if I may ask, I heard there was a protest somewhere in the city on...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was curious because I didn't realize tensions were up.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Alright, I keep doing this to myself.
You're gonna hear him just kind of scoff. If you could call one person gathering a protest.
Oh. I was tacitly unaware. I've just arrived.
Yes, well, she's been on this kick for months now. Apparently, the king is a puppet, so she says. I don't put much stock in it. We've had rumors that the king is a vampire, that he's a puppet, that he's this and that. And as you see, things aren't so bad.
She's not been arrested for disturbing the peace?
But she hasn't done anything to disturb the peace. But again, she also tends to pop up in locations as well.
Apologies, sir. Who do I report to for tomorrow?
I will be starting off the shift for you tomorrow, so you just see me first thing in the morning if that's when you choose to come. If not, whoever is lieutenant on patrol.
Understood. Have a good evening.
And yourself.
Levin's gonna turn and smartly walk away.
Alright.
He's gonna make his way back towards the tavern that he remembers everyone else being at.
The morning something?
This would be closer to like 11 p.m.
No,
No,
I'm
the
talking
mourner,
about the name of the tavern.
the mourner's rest. Yep.
Yeah, the mourner's rest.
So as this is happening, you are heading towards the tavern. You off in the distance. What's your passive perception, Levin?
21.
Yep.
No, my goggles would have been down during this travel. Sorry, so 21.
All right. You would hear off in the distance a old voice. Hold on. Garnath is at the end. And it's just going to be an individual who's just kind of preaching and walking. He's wearing a cloak. His face is covered. From you, Levin, he's about 25 to 50 feet away, give or take. And he is heading in the same direction as you. As in towards the tavern.
Levin's going to do another quick scan, and more of an active look, to see if there's any sort of police presence that's noting his behavior.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yep.
You notice that there are eyes, the occasional sentry of the walking Carnathian dead, the occasional actual patrolman, but everybody looks more of they're wearing a humorous expression, as if he's being humored by allowing it to be continued.
Levin will pick up the pace so that he can get a little further away from this guy, and he'll basically duck around a building to effectively disappear from light, and he'll throw the hood up and wait for this guy to pass.
Alrighty. As he does, you notice that he continues in the direction of the mourner's rest.
Alright. As I'm following this individual, I'm going to take a look at his state of dress, and I'll get within reasonable distance for his volume of monologue to hear what he's ranting about.
You notice that the rantings pause as the population dims out, or thins out, excuse me. But you also notice that within every 3 to 5 people he passes, you hear the occasional question arise. Do you have any silver pieces? Anything to spare? And you're going to hear an audible grumble, as if somebody used something like thaumaturgy to enhance the sound of the grumbling stomach. And he gets...
He's going to note that, but he's going to continue following. If he's making his way towards the Mourner's Rest, I mean, Levin doesn't have a reason to divert if he hasn't been seen.
Nope. Go ahead and just give me a stealth check.
Not a problem.
I just need to know how invisible you're going to be.
I'm basically actually invisible if I'm not inside of any light sources. So, take it with what you will. I rolled like crap.
With that, you still rolled pretty good, even if you rolled low. But that's neither here nor there. You
exactly
do notice that he is making his way to the tavern and walks through the doors as soon as he gets there. Ceres, you who are at the tavern would see this, and let me get his picture up now. See this weird-looking individual. Sorry, just gotta get to the right person. Character artwork. Show players.
No.
As he pulls his hood down and his whitened eye is actually scanning more regularly than the non-white eye. I'm here once more to attempt to warn you of the fall of Karnath. And I will talk to anybody who buys me my first drink. You hear a couple of individuals who are just like, alright, I got you. And they're going to give the bartender something. As you know... And before I begin with that, Levin, you would be able to follow him in if you so choose.
Yeah. He's going to do a quick once over for the room.
Seeing Levin enter, Ceres will raise her hand and go, "Brother, over here!" And you will see a feminine version of your face, Levin.
Elves are sometimes slightly androgynous. This is very annoying. You're gonna
Perhaps
like
more feminine.
active bar soothsayer in the audience. You're still gonna hear Levin groan over this one.
Oh, fuck. I meant Phalian. Sorry.
There you go.
This is giving me such a real world stress.
You
Oh
would've-
my god.
Ceres would have said Phalian.
Oh. Yeah, I know. It's just we're gonna be human and fuck up, and it's going to drive me up the wall.
Yeah. Ceres.
Philan will smartly approach you. Like, it's basically like you don't see his legs move so much as he's just in front of you now.
She gets up, gives you a hug. Looks up, pulls back, holding him at the shoulders. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen you. Glad we finally caught up. Korth of all places, what are you doing here?
You're chattier than I remember.
Life has a way of teaching you the value of conversation.
Speaking of, he's gonna do a quick corner check. Any private spots you want to go to?
Booth over there's fine. Whatever strikes your fancy, I'm good for anything.
And Levin is gonna hook a thumb. That one's probably going to be a bit loud if you want to grease him up.
I'm curious to hear what he has to say later on, but you're here now. I want to catch up with you. Been so long. So much has changed since you left.
Levin's gonna shake his head and go towards the booth.
Yeah, she will follow. Hop into the seat. I'll pick up your first drink. On me. she will wave the a server over and pay for Levin's drink, whatever he wants.
All right, Levin, what would you like to get?
At this point, he knows this is a dive bar. He's not getting food here. Freaking undercooked chicken wings is the best expectation.
I don't think it was a dive bar. It was just sort of mid.
They gave him a broom closet for a room.
Yeah.
The type.
No,
The type
no,
of bar
they
that
gave
would
him a.
ask you how well done you would. How
They-
would you like your?
I'm saying it in
well
jest. I know what type of room they gave me.
I was gonna say they offered you the broom closet. The broom closet would have been nicer and
Yeah.
drier, and drier.
Yep. The smell is manure and the dripping is manure.
Oh
Wow.
god. Yes, you guys are reunited. You are at a table. You have whatever drink you are going to order.
And the new inn we're at's the Crimson Dawn.
The Crimson Flagon.
Crimson Flagon.
I'm gonna
Cool.
post that in the chat.
I'm writing
Right.
it down.
Is that over in the high ground?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Fevin is basically like, no, yeah, I signed up with bodyguard work for a really hoity-toity type. This woman, Vala Wintermorn, she's staked a tent over in the Crimson Flagon. It's high end, good pay. She is spending coin like nobody's business. It is quite nice there.
Oh, I've been.
It's
looking
definitely a
for
step
work.
up for me in terms of work.
What's the day rate?
3 gold pieces, I think.
For the day rate, you're getting fleeced.
I mean, she told me you pay for quality. I think she's just paying for, an upscale neighborhood and, better security. All those rich types are like that.
You would figure, but right now the garrison work's paying 10 an hour. And he's
What can
bringing
I
that
say?
up specifically because even he thinks that's unusual.
Really? That's a sign-on bonus. Maybe I'm working for the wrong person after all. Someone
Oh.
paying me 5.
Well, if you're looking for work, the lieutenant there, Havern, has been amiable for the swing shift, but he'll be there for the morning shift as well.
Fascinating. Also, I don't know how long you've been in town. I've been kind of getting a feel for the land, only been here a couple days, but I'm getting a sense that this town might have a little bit of a undercurrent. It's like she leans in real close. I think the blood of war kind of runs things here, at least on the less than legal side.
Levin's gonna switch over to Thieves' Cant a little bit on this.
As you're having your conversation, you're going to hear break through. Damn it, give me a second. It was there. Oh. It's below the surface. It's beneath even Caius. Karnath has been festering for years, and it's coming all to erupt now. Be wary. As he sits down and he starts drinking his drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but your thieves can't.
Right. And Levin's gonna relay. This is unusually high pay for garrison work.
Yeah, she'll point out it's like no one here is actually preparing for war. Like, this town is not on a war footing. These people, like, this is the capital. You think they would be, I don't know, mustering, recruiting. there'd be some propaganda saying like we need to like win, or and like these people seem oblivious to the fact that the rest of the kingdoms to the west think they're starting a war.
And there may be something to that, especially if they're increasing the pay for the soldiers that are running garrison work. That means that they have a glut of funds that they're spending.
But they're not aggressively recruiting.
Which means
Doesn't
they already
sound
have
like
the
it.
troops they need.
I mean, it's Karnath. All the troops they need are in the ground.
And more to come.
True. War is the best recruitment for a Karnathi army.
I'm not sure if you know your history, but war's the best recruitment for any country.
Never mind. Doesn't matter. Yes. But we also he relays to Levin that there was an incident, a less than discreet incident in the tap room, and then it looked like someone made Melee, possibly made Saris, and Saris, basically had the group moved to the better accommodations to use nobility as the cover to buy us some protection.
Oh, speaking of, my recent employer, Melvin Sunrunner, I was not acquainted with the other workers that she was with. You might have heard about the incident and heard their names. Did you catch any of them?
Anya, Jessica, Eustace, and Thaddeus.
All right, I'll go over to the Crimson and make an inquiry. I'll probably have work later.
Yes, but if you want to get work with my lady, her name's Vala Wintermorn. She is paying...
At 3 per diem?
Well, no, she's paying 3 a night for to stay at the inn. She's offering me 5 for the bodyguard work, so... But, if you're looking for... I don't know how long she's going to be in town, but she does plan to leave. I don't know how long you want to stay here, cheerful as it is.
Well, I was going to go check on the protest that was being talked about. Apparently it was a one single woman show.
I hadn't heard anything about it. But you never know. This town is big enough to have weirdos.
And speaking of loud and obnoxious, and Levin's gonna do a quick nod towards the robed individual.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's being a nuisance, but they expect that Karnath is a little more draconian.
From what I understand, he does a circuit. He hits all the tap rooms over the course of a day. I've been actually waiting to catch this particular show. If you don't mind. And she flips him another coin. Have another drink on me. And she ambles up and over to Brother Relvik's table. And, sits down across from him and is like, "Hello, old timer. What you going on about?"
Hello there, young one. You're not from here, are you?
I'm not. You have a keen eye. But I am curious about what you have to say. You say some very heavy things. And, well, in my line of business, the heavy things usually mean work. I'm curious, maybe you can give me a hint where I'm going to end up next.
Give me a persuasion check.
I flip a gold coin over to him to pay for his next drink.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
There we go. Wait, I didn't roll with advantage. 17.
Well, thank you, dearie. Well, thank you, little miss. I always like a free drink. Now,
I believe in respecting my elders and keeping their throats Moin,
Your
so we
elders.
glean their wisdom.
I'm only 85 years old.
Oh. You hide it well.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
I am just curious about what's going on with this, she like air quotes, rot in Korth or Kana. And you know, I mean, what's that all about? I haven't heard anything about it.
Not many do. In fact, these people nowadays crave peace so much that they're willing to overlook many things. But there's been a darkness in Karnath for as long as I can remember. And it's getting worse, despite what the people look like around here. Something is brewing, and it will be in our end.
Oh my, that does sound bad. Another word for it. Do you have any specifics about this festering rot? Kind of like, where's its source? Where's it headed?
Give me another persuasion check.
I need to buy him another drink.
No. Even buying him a drink won't give you advantage on this one.
Okay. 24?
That's a good roll.
There's just curious.
Well, for one, you're going to see that he pulls out a small scroll. And as he unrolls it, you would recognize the writing as something you have seen before on a scroll.
Oh,
It
shit.
is a piece of the Draconic Prophecy.
Okay.
And now before you ask, yes, I can translate it loosely. This one, I had help a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
Now my other piece, it's not something I'm able to tell you in front of many people. I get away with a lot here, meaning my ramblings. But there's some things you just can't say openly.
Hmm. Well, is there anything what is safe to say here? If anything, I don't.
He's going to struggle to find words. It's safe to say, her lady. But, just as said, too many people around, and this tavern is very well known for not being safe for information.
Yes, I've heard. Is there a safe? Where would one go to hear the full truth?
Well, if you wouldn't mind renting me a room, I'm sure we can put up some sort of silence. And he's going to take out a scroll of silence, like a cone of silence scroll, and he's going to hand it to you. In exchange for a room.
Why? I'm not really the spell type. I'm more of a slash stab shop type person. But if you can make the scroll book, I'm happy to buy the room.
Well, you'd be able to. Well, it's imbued with magic, so most can already utilize it. But if not, I can cast it. That's okay.
I don't really trust the stuff. Like cold hard steel, like very effective at what it does.
Understood. But I still appreciate the room.
She will go and buy the guy a room for the night. She hates the optics of this, by the way.
Okay. Also, you do have 3 rooms.
No, she doesn't.
Okay. You're right. So now you are getting another room for.
One night, for Brother Relvic to sleep it off, I guess.
For 3 silver pieces. Okay, this is an expensive mission for you.
Brother Ramos owes Ceres so big. Or not Brother, Uncle Ramram. So many people.
Oh god.
And she's gonna give a little wave to her brother Levin as she heads on up, and then she like gestures to the old man and just like thumbs up.
And he will follow you up.
Well, I guess she was supposedly getting that following him up, but that's fine. Yeah, they head up to the room.
Levin, would you be following along?
Levin will finish his beverage and make his way towards where they are. He wants to initially overhear, and pretty much once the silence goes up, he's gonna abandon that and go to his room.
Okay. So as soon as they enter the room, almost immediately the silence would be cast. And Ceres, you notice an immediate change in his demeanor. From what looked to be initially a senile old man, turns into just a worn individual who just seems like he's tired of putting on the show. Alright, now ask your questions. It's safe to answer here.
Well, you are talking of a festering rot. Do you know what it is? What specifically is rotting away at the core of this country?
I can say, but I can't. I do know, but I can't say.
Can't say because you won't, or can't say because you actually can't?
To speak the name causes great amounts of pain. And she's all but forgotten me. I don't need to remind her of my existence again.
I can kind of relate to that statement. Alright,
So, for the duration of this conversation, I will have to refer to her as Milady.
do you know who is she the lady of?
She is none of this world. To know her power is to know this. I was once a member of the Cult of the Emerald Claw. And he's going to pause for a moment, attempting to gauge your initial reaction.
She just sort of like flat-faced, sort of nods. Right.
I was a cleric of Her Lady. all of my power came from her. Until the day I displaced her. I was then cut off completely. Imagine having a skill, a talent you revere all your life, sustained life, even. She is powerful. And when I say not of this world, I believe the technical term would be a lich.
If I said a name, would that be and I accidentally guessed right, would that potentially create the same kind of problem as you speaking the name?
I don't know.
Well, I'd hate to reward your gift of information with trouble. I will... she will pause for a moment, and then she will write, how about if I just write a few letters, and if they lead to, if they're in some way a part of her name, you can nod, and if not, you can shrug, and we can keep on discussing, and I will find another means to figure out what I need to know.
We can
Without yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's basically just like I said, she's trying to like find a way to circumvent his issue with her name by like only partially transcribing it on paper.
You can certainly try. I've lived a long life.
Well, still room to die horribly. Hate to visit that upon you. And she will write the letters ILLM. I just show him
And
those.
he's gonna immediately, like, give just a simple nod, but you... Give me an insight check.
Not my best skill. 13.
You do notice a fear in his eyes.
Cool. She quickly tosses the paper into the fireplace.
All
that's-
things stem from her.
Mm-hmm. And what is she doing to increase the rot?
Well, for now, she's attempting a dark ritual. At least attempting to gather the ingredients needed. I hear something keeps eluding her grasp, but it's hard to find out any true information.
See. Good to know. I have some, I don't know, unrelated questions. I am sort of traveling where the work takes me, but I'm looking for a family member of mine, an uncle who's gone missing. And you seem like someone who hears things. And it's possibly a long shot. You may know, you may not know. But I was hoping if you wouldn't mind indulging my questions and letting me know if you're aware of this individual and maybe his whereabouts. I'd be greatly appreciative.
The odds of me knowing a person would be quite astounding.
fair. But like I said, you do seem to go around and meet people. Can't hurt to ask. You either do or you don't.
Sure,
Wow.
what is this person's name?
I don't know that he would have used his name. He's very, very circumspect. But he does have a prosthetic leg, and he's almost pathologically incapable of not showing it off.
Give me an insight check.
It's just Uncle Ram Ram from the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use an inspiration point. I hate that.
Okay.
Re-rolling 23.
You notice that he seems to stop talking.
Sorry? Have we moved outside your area of expertise?
Family, huh?
Of a sort. We're adopted.
And he's going to begin to eye you suspiciously.
Yes. Like I said, adopted family. But I call him... He's kind of an uncle to me. He's definitely done me quite a few favors over the years, and just trying to repay one to him.
I can tell you I don't know a man with a prosthetic leg with an adopted family.
Well, families... It feels like family. I don't think he would necessarily call me his niece.
He now looks confused. So, family, not family, family-ish. I'm not sure
Close.
what this means.
We're very close. We're very close. Like family, not family. Jeez. Just...
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. 24.
I'm gonna need to give me more of a description of this man.
She gives him the description that she last saw of him. She is like, I think he more or less would have been. I suspect if he was here in Karnath, he might be trying to disguise himself, but roughly, that's what he looked like. I think he's in trouble. In fact, actually, I'm pretty sure he's in trouble. I'm here to try and get him out of it.
Now, once more, I know you say you call him Uncle. What's his full name? And this time he's staring at you with both of his eyes, his gray, filmy covered eye more unsettling to have looking at you.
Yeah, I don't know what his last name is, but like Ramos, whatever his last name is.
Saris would have heard this before. Odurin.
Yep.
Oh, Durin. Okay, yeah.
And you're going to just see that he sits back. And why should I tell you anything I know if I know anything about this individual? I'm very okay with the fact that with everything I told you, I can basically have given myself a death sentence. But
not
Why would I
here
give that to my
kill-
friend?
Well, I came here looking for him when he's in trouble. I'm clearly not the people he's in trouble with.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that you're a friend of his.
More of a friend of his than anyone else in this country, except for maybe you.
I saw him about 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back. I haven't heard anything. He was heading east, and he bought me a couple of nights at a tavern. We drank the town dry. It was quite fun.
Did you share your story with him?
Which story?
Of the rot in Ghana.
Oh, he has known much about my life ever since he saved me.
He does that a lot. Hands out favors like the fish.
That he does, but he's also good at fulfilling favors.
Fair enough. Okay. You said he was going east roughly 2 to 3 weeks ago? You wouldn't happen to be able to narrow that down to a target city of some kind?
No, he wanted as little people to know as possible. He was saying something was strange about the movement of soldiers.
Well, that's actually, if you're a soldier, you kind of start to notice that apparently. Great. Did he say what he was looking for? Why he was here? Clearly not for your particular story, I don't think.
I shared with him the Draconic Prophecy a while back. He seemed to pay attention to it. I don't know if it was the cause of his curiosity, the why behind his traveling.
Great. Alright, is there anything else that you think might be relevant for me finding him? Because I'm really just here to get him out of Karnath. Because I got a cryptic message from him. And he seems like he needs help.
He was asking me about a priest of the Blood of Vol, an old priest, back when I first joined the ranks, nigh over a century ago. His name was Garen.
Okay. Garen. I don't suppose you had any information on this Garen, like his current whereabouts, or...
Oh, Garen. Garen is dead. Long dead.
Oh.
But his story's interesting.
Okay.
If the rumors are to be true, he was the one who turned King Caius the First.
Into a vampire?
If you believe those myths.
So conceivably this Garen is probably also a vampire?
No. Necromancer.
Ah. He made the king a vampire. Interesting. Does he happen to have a burial location?
That I couldn't tell you.
Do you know where one might find that information?
You can find a high member within either the Blood of Vol or the Cult of the Emerald Claw. I
Great.
never reached those levels.
That is just the hornet's nest I was hoping to poke. Everything about this visit's going according to plan. So excited I had this conversation. Fucking Uncle Ram Ram. Well, enjoy your sleep. I hope you see the morning.
Be wary if she ever does find that last ingredient. Who can know what she's capable of when she's mortal again?
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know anything about the ingredients. I'm just here for my Uncle Ram Ram.
Go ahead and give me a deception check on that.
Cool. Sarahs don't suck. I'd like to re-roll that with another inspiration.
You certainly can.
Don't suck, Theris. Okay, well, apparently that's what I'm supposed to roll.
Damn.
Suck.
Well, I couldn't have beat that anyway.
He notices you're not being quite as honest, but it's also not something he presses either.
Yep. She flips him another 2 gold coins. Have a good meal. Make it count.
It is quite
And
appreciated.
He will slip on out the door. Do I know where Levin made his accommodations in this establishment?
I am going to take an assumption, and Levin, you can correct me. I'm going to say you would have probably discussed it at some point before you split, but if not, no.
Oh.
11 wouldn't have tried hiding it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fevin will go over to find her brother. Say, hey. Alright, big brother. Well, I'm off. I'm gonna go check in with my employer. You sleep well. Old man was interesting chat, I have to say. The old codgers you really got to listen to. I guess you were right. I should be respecting my elders more. Fonts of wisdom and all that.
Right. So, the Crimson
Flagon. Crimson Flagon.
Dragon.
Vala Wintermorn. Great lady. So smart. Pretty. Educated. Refined. Generous. Just the perfect employer. Could not recommend her enough.
The way some people
Yeah.
get drummed up in conversation.
Yeah, well, you know, just she likes flattery if you go looking for work from her. Play that up. She'll enjoy that.
She sounds full of herself.
Rude. I just told you she's great. Anyhow, I'm coming in, bring it in for a hug. Like shit-eating grin while she's holding her arms open.
All right. Yeah, he'll make that public display.
Yep, she hugs him. All right, well, you take care, brother, and she will like tussle your hair. And so she's gonna really pay for all of this later. And she will head on out. About 2 blocks away, she will turn invisible and make her way back to her room at the Crimson Flagon.
As that's happening, we're going to jump back to the Crimson Flagon, and I'm just going to point out subtly that Levin got the hug first. And is... Sorry, I had to stop there for a minute. But those of you who are at the tavern, what would you like to do over the last 4 hours?
I was grabbing a drink from Lee before going back up to the room.
All right. And I know that Gearfried, you said you were watching to make sure that that Fennec didn't explode anything, or the room itself didn't explode or implode or something like that.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Fennec and making sure that everything. He's kind of playing babysitter, resigning himself to that role when neither Fennec nor Saris are around. So he is just kind of like trying to be as mature as possible and make sure no one's getting into any trouble.
All right. Is there anything specific you would all like to do over the course of that 4-hour time period? Besides babysitting, supply Melee with alcohol.
I wouldn't oversupply. Just get a drink.
I didn't say
head back up.
I didn't say oversupply. I just said supply.
Yeah. Just sit tight. It is boring, but it is what we are going to be doing for Zarya, at least. She'll be meditating and just staying put, low profile, keeping her sanity in check.
All right, jumping those 4 hours. Saris, you are entering the tavern. How? Are you going through the window, or are you going invisibly through the door? What is your entry method?
She has a key to her room, so she'll just invisibly go to her.
All right. As you enter the room, you would see that Fennec, Fennec, Gearfried, Zarya, and Hina, Melee, are sitting in the room, presumably, unless Gearfried and Fennec went into their own room.
No, Gearfried would make sure everyone's in the same room.
Did the tailor ever show up? Because I would have paid money for
Taylor order, yeah.
Yeah,
I would say
I paid...
you'd be able to get a tailor there the next day.
Okay. And how much is he going to set me back?
You'll find out the next day.
Taylor. Okay, cool. Taylor making house calls.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely not going to be expensive.
That'll be great. Okay. Yeah. Terrace will just the door will open and then close, and then Terrace will appear. Probably still looking like Bevan. Actually, no. Probably would have faded by now. And it's like, oh. So surprised.
Evening.
Well, good news. Unexpectedly, Brother Relvic showed up tonight.
Oh, you're very quiet.
Meow 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 meow.
You're good
Meow,
now.
meow.
Better.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. And then she goes, well, good news, Brother Relvic showed up.
Oh, how'd that go?
He's surprisingly really wants to get the secret out as what's going on in sweet, sweet town of War. And he loves Karnath, sort of.
So what's the bad news?
The bad news is Lady Ilmero is trying to find Melee because Melee is an ingredient in the ritual. So,
Who's trying to find Melee?
Lady Ilmero. She's in charge of the Blood of Vol, right? She's the last bearer of the Mark of Death, but because she's undead, she can't actually use it anymore. Is that correct?
Yep. But go ahead and give me a history check to see how much of this you would know.
Okay.
Me or Saris?
Yeah, can we roll history check to see if this is
Anybody who would like to roll a history check based off of the name Lady O'Maro.
I have a -1. 12.
15.
Gosh darn it. 16.
With the 15 and the 16, you would know you would have heard of the Mark of Death and the Eradication. At most, you would know a myth that names Erendis Vol.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Saris lived with a Dragonmark house up until about the age of 7. Would she have received any?
No, because apart from that event happening thousands of years prior,
No one really
it's
talks about
also
it.
yeah, it's not something that's necessarily talked about. So it's more something that would be just like a bedtime story here, or somebody who is interested in looking into Dragonmark history, something like that.
So I wouldn't have heard anything?
With the 12, no.
But yeah, so I guess Saris and Gearfried fill you in on the basics. You know, she's a lich.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and she's still out there, and apparently she educated guess the ritual she's trying to finish requires one last ingredient, and and she points to Melee. It's you.
Is
All right.
that
I don't.
Maylee's mother?
I believe so. So Dragon Marks are weird. They were sort of tied to a particular lineage. They appear relatively randomly, though the Dragon Marks houses like to try to increase the odds as much as they can by controlling how certain dragon marked individuals within the houses interbreed to maintain their supremacy and increase the likelihood of a powerful dragon mark.
Right, so she's a part of the... Which house is she a part of?
Lady Ilmero is not a part of any house because her house was... Well, the Mark of Death was eradicated a long time ago. Not entirely sure why, except it was a very powerful mark. I don't know what it does or what it's capable of, but everyone else didn't like it and turned on them and wiped them out. And now we only really know what I just said. And maybe can guess at a few other things, but not a lot of detail around it.
Gotcha, okay.
I think the scary part is Lady Ilmero is a lich. And she wants Melee.
What does Melee have to do with the ritual, though?
So you're right, you went there. Melee is... Sure. We found her being, what was it, chased by shadows? Or something?
Yep.
She was part of a
Right.
caravan. We were traveling to Nicia. She was being chased by shadows, and I hired her on as my most efficient bodyguard. But, I mean, she seems to draw... She seems to be a lure for the attention of the Bloodival. I couldn't say exactly why, but
Yeah,
I would...
we know that they are chasing her. We don't know the why exactly. Maybe figuring out the why of why they want her for ritual, why they want her for sacrifice helps. Something about her mother now, and possibly having connections with something plainer.
Would we know that the Blood of Vol wants to resurrect the Mark of Death? Is that...
Well, I believe he had said Brother Velvic had said that she wants to be mortal again. So that in itself would be the resurrection of the mark.
Okay, yeah. So
Because she can't use it
Ah.
until she's mortal. That's one of the drawbacks of it. You have to be alive.
oh yeah, no. The old man said that Lady Elmero is trying to reverse her lichdom and become immortal again, and as a bearer of the mark of death, that would basically bring it back into the world, which seems bad for whatever reason.
Yeah,
caused it to wipe it
if
out.
it's called the mark of death, that sounds. Is it just like they touch you and you die?
I mean, the Mark of Shadow is called the Mark of Shadow, but doesn't really summon lots of shadows or give me power over dark. Give bearer of the mark power over darkness. Or, Orion is called the Mark of Passage?
I think so, yep.
Yeah, not everything they do with their mark literally involves. Like, yes, they've turned it into passage, but you can do a lot with a few key spells. So I wouldn't. It basically allows a few individuals to bypass years of study to just innately have the ability to cast particular types of magic. And the houses are more or less arranged along the theme of the abilities they have. But, like, yeah. So, just because it's called the Mark of Death, I wouldn't read. I mean, death covers a lot. Like, maybe it kills people, or maybe it prevents death.
Yeah.
Maybe it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Maybe it allows you to
Alright.
commune with the dead. The mark can potentially do any number of things. I mean, it's probably safer to consider it more of a mark of necromancy, and that's a broad range of spells.
Hmm.
So good news. Also, he gave me some information on Uncle Ramram, which is probably
good.
more important.
Oh, cool. I was going to ask.
Yeah,
where
can
is he?
we find him and leave now, please?
Yes, we can leave and then maybe go find him. But
Wait,
first,
he's not in Korth. Where the fuck is he?
yeah, no, the old man was apparently a friend, but apparently Uncle Ramram was playing everything fucking close to the vest and didn't say anything. Other than he was headed east. He's looking for an old dead necromancer named Garen, who, rumor has it, turned King Caius into a vampire.
Okay, DM, as a local to Karnath, and knowing that east, I'm pretty sure from where we are, the Ashen Spires is east. Is this striking any lore in Gearfried's head? Like, like history, or I guess history would probably be the most applicable one. But I'm curious if like that name of that necromancer is that like a famous criminal or a famous like not I guess Karnath, so famous like just celebrated necromancer here.
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. History. Can I use an inspiration?
One.
You can. You have 2 remaining.
Womp womp.
Yeah. My best stat. I refuse to natural 1.
Another
Show me
feeling.
monkey. Yeah, that's a lot better.
You, oddly enough, the reference comes from while you were training with your master. You remember passing by a bust while you were doing repairs within the castle, and there was a statue or a bust of a priest, and there wasn't much of a description, but you are able to recollect that it is something that is in constant view of people. So it's left in a position that is almost like a museum where people can see it even years and years after.
Alright, the name of the necromancer rings a bell. I don't know the whole history on him, but he's important enough to have some statues and busts made of him that are at least in public view, you know?
Well, if we can find out where he's buried, without having to possibly poke the blood of Vol, because the old man said that if we wanted to find out where his burial place is, our best bet would be to talk to someone from the Blood of Vol or the Emerald Claw. But I'll be honest, neither of those sound like good options for us if we want to prevent the
Potential
well.
third option.
Yes.
When I remember seeing those statues and busts of this necromancer, it was in the... my master and I would occasionally be called on to impose repairs on the sewage and whatnot within the castle and just trinkets and whatnot. But they were in the castle. If he celebrated enough in the spires to justify a statue, there's bound to be someone there that knows something about him, perhaps even keeping up on the current whereabouts.
And when you say castle, you mean?
Well, I mean, it's the Ashen Spire. The spires are a series of under-mountain tunnels and networks of roads and whatnot. There's a big open area within as well. It's less I mean, for all intents and purposes, it is a castle, but it's very much built within the structure.
So it's like a dwarf thing?
Yeah. The spires are dwarvish. I've mentioned many times that I grew up with dwarves. The entire area is full of dwarves. There are some other short folks, mostly dwarves.
Interesting. So you're from a dwarven family. Weird. You've never mentioned it.
Gearfried is going to just narrow his eyes. Anyway, we might be able to find some information there, if we don't want to go the dangerous route of trying to find and interrogate someone from either of these cults.
No, I love option C. And I am pretty sure that if we do anything to attract the Blood of Vol, we'll have to move heaven and hell to get them off our scent once they know where we are.
Plus, we
So
already
the
know that
longer-
Ramos is heading east, so it's in the direction, at least generally.
Sounds good. Well, with any luck, Thalion will be coming by to request work with Lady Vala Wintermore, hopefully. Or he'll probably take the better paying job with the militia here, which is paying an obscene 10 gold pieces per... Did you say per day?
Per hour.
Holy shit! You made 80 gold
Wait.
pieces in 1 day of guard work?
Which is why he brought it up.
Hey, GM.
I misunderstood I missed the per hour part.
What's up?
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, knowing that Karnath is homeland, all that, they use dead people a lot. This isn't like some kind of well-known Nigerian scammer kind of thing where like they're just they plan on killing the help afterwards, right? Like this isn't one of those
Payday!
things, is it?
Please step into this room.
Like he's not gonna get his money and they're just gonna
God.
get an eternal soldier that they know is competent.
I'm tempted to say yes now.
Oh
Oh god.
no, I've
You know
given
what?
him ideas.
Yeah, you'll find out. You don't know this yet. Nah, you've never done guard duty. You know.
Uh.
You They're not unionized, so you don't like them.
Ah, yeah. Well, when Evan gets back, then I suppose we should figure out what we're, or I guess fill him in if we're all deciding on the spires.
Yes. Also, I am checked in as Vala Wintermorn. You'll start to have to address me as Lady Wintermorn while we're here.
Very well. I'm still Fabian.
That works. Yeah. And we'll have a tailor, so we will probably be exiting this town as very upper class people at that point. Please, please, please do not give the tailor a hard time. I'm gonna pay through the nose to accommodate this.
I will be on my best behavior.
And she was not looking at anyone but Fennec.
I was away
Yeah.
from my mic, but guys, you mentioned the blood of something.
Vol, VOL.
Oh damn it! I thought I solved the clue
Hmm.
because of the blood of note.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be connected. Could be connected. So with that, Levin,
Yeah, I
what
just
are
thought
you-
it was directly blood of.
what would you be
Same.
doing at this time?
Well, having just gotten off swing shift and given an update, he's going to get actual sleep.
There you go, in your dank apartment. Or in your dank
Yep.
room.
He'll figure it out in the morning. He is, however, going to ascertain, like, how much actual elbow room does he have in this room?
Oh, the room itself is fine. It's just wet.
Moist.
Sure.
Ugh.
It's
All right,
it's
he's gonna-
thoroughly
if-
saturated.
If there's a chair in the room, he's going to prop it against the door, and he's gonna see what he can do about managing a bedroll on top of whatever is here, just to keep himself off of being saturated for the night.
All right. On that note, we're going to call it here for the evening. And we're going to see what happens in about 2 weeks when we come back and find out what is the next level of shenanigans these players are going to get into to get at the DM. I don't know.
By the
We'll
sounds
find
of
out.
it, we're about to engage in some kind of undead guard scam.
I mean, I like your
Yeah.
idea, so that might just have to happen. Suddenly you just start attacking Korth. Nah,
You
don't want to do
willed
that
it
one.
into existence by pointing out the flaw.
Oh,
It's like asking the teacher if we have homework.
oh yeah.
Different.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody, have a safe 4th of July. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you all next available week. And till then, stay safe. Check us out on Shopify. Support us any way you can. And till then, everybody, say goodbye.
Happy Canada
Bye.
Day!
Bye.
Have a good
Happy
night.
Canada Day.
Happy Canada.